everybody who understands the state statutes understands that he had a one-time 60-day emergency or health emergency. Once that expired, he cannot do that renew that without the legislature acting. And he did not ask the legislature to act.
Despite your differences with the governor's approach in issuing a statewide mask order, why not at least join DHS in publicly encouraging people to wear masks and follow other health guidelines? Because we see so many Republicans just not really encouraging this.
So I'm not so sure that this is a 100% Republican issue. I actually think in a lot of cases it's more regional than anything else. More rural Wisconsin. These are type of people who, are law-abiding citizens, but for the most part want to be left alone by government. And I think that's one of the differences. You see that in more, greater issues than just the mask mandate. So I don't think I apologize. I don't follow the same train that this is just Republicans being against the recommendations from the CDC. I think this is more about standing up for the law and standing up for people who believe that their rights are being trampled.
Senator Stroebel, members of your party have put out statements this week saying it is wrong of the governor's office to extend the emergency order. What action would you like to see now from the legislature in response?
Well, it is an illegal action. It's very clear in our Constitution.
Senator, just to be clear, though, on the issue of masks, which is at the center of this order, the public health officials in your district and all over the state are saying masks work. So why not stand with the governor and publicly advocate and say this is what everybody should be doing?
I mean, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I think you can also look at some facts that say the masks really haven't been changing anything. But again, that's not the point here. The point is we have a governor who's...
Senator, that's not what your own public health people are saying. Your own public health officials, Washington, Ozaukee County, Fond du Lac County, they're telling the public wear masks. It does help.
And that's fine. And I have no problem with people wearing masks. Now, we may all like a mask right now. We think that's a good idea. But do we want a governor who can, with an emergency order, and have 60 days to have unfettered ability to do whatever he wants? Maybe it's going to be about, let's say, immigration, or maybe racism, or what have you. You pick the topic. To have a just continual series of emergencies like this, it's against the law. That's the issue here.
So, Senator, if the legislature does then come into session, and for the first time in nearly 6 months during a pandemic, during economic turmoil that it has caused, that first piece of legislation it passes is wiping out this emergency order, how does that help the public?
Well, again, the governor has a process that he can go through to create laws. It's the rulemaking process. He has to work with the legislature.
So as far as taking the lead as a legislature then, as a body that then can pass bills that then go to the governor's desk and then the public would all see that he didn't sign it, why doesn't the legislature take the lead, then work with your caucus, work with the Democrats, and say, here are some things that we agree on and that we're passing with bipartisan support. There's no reason for the governor not to sign this.
A one-size-fits-all, this broad brush approach just doesn't work, because this pandemic is affecting different parts of our state in very different ways. And to have this one-size-fits-all thing just doesn't make sense. Again, let's leave that to local control. Let's let the local people who are more in tune with what is going on in their actual community, they really should be the ones to deal with it.